Morning everyone, it's Karen and I'm here to talk about clicker training. So I have a clicker to show you here. This is a clicker, but they come in all shapes, not sizes, not all different sizes. They're all about this size, but most of them you buy, you can get them on a little plastic key ring and you just sort of press it with your thumb like that. There's ones that are like little square things with a little bit of a metal in that you press. They're a little bit louder. This is the best clicker I have ever used because you can put it on your finger like so, and it's hands-free then, and then you can just click it because you need your hands to be giving treats, to be stroking them if that's one of the rewards you're giving them, you know, to be lifting the thing up that you're training them with, etc, etc. In our latest video with Watson doing tricks for you, you could see that I was using a clicker, and a lot of you were asking what is a clicker and is it better using a clicker, and it absolutely is. So I am going to be doing some videos for you teaching you how I taught Watson to do those things, such as removing my socks, look left and right, etc. And a clicker is a big part of it. It's not 100% essential at all. You can use your words. You can, when they do the thing you want, you can say yes and reward them. So how is the clicker different and what does it do for you? Well, the clicker marks the spot exactly. When a dog does a behaviour that you want, you have a window of 10 seconds to reward them, to indicate to them, to mark the point that they have done something right. If you don't do it within that 10 seconds, they won't know what they're being rewarded for. It's the same with if you tell them off for something. So if you tell a dog off when you get home because it peed on the floor, it will have no idea what it's being told off for. You've got that 10 seconds. That 10 seconds might seem like a long time, but when you're actually training, if you're then saying yes and you're scrabbling around to try and find a treat, you suddenly think, oh, I didn't get my treats, or you can't get the lid off something, or you're trying to rip up some pork, or there's so many things that can happen that it's a bigger delay than you imagine. And I personally feel that some dogs need less than 10 seconds. I feel like with Watson, if I don't treat him within a couple of seconds, then he has lost interest, doesn't know what he did, doesn't really care because he wasn't rewarded for it, and the moment is lost. The other thing with the 10 seconds is that within that 10 seconds, a second behaviour can happen. And then the point you give them a treat can be rewarding them. You can tend to delay your yes to when you've got your treat, because that's just a human way of doing things. They do the behaviour you want, you grab the treat and say yes and give it to them. But they may have already displayed a different behaviour. So let me give an example, because I heard that coming out and it didn't sound clear. So if you are teaching your dog to sit, you'll first lure them probably with a treat and get them to put their bum on the floor, and you then introduce the word sit. And so say you're at that point and you're saying sit, and they sit and they put their bum on the floor, and you're like excited, right, I better get a treat. And in the time you reach for the treat pot and are saying yes, he barks. You then give him a treat and say, yes, it was only a little bark, you didn't really pay attention. You may have rewarded him for barking. It really is that precise. So what the clicker does is it marks for them the exact time that they did something right. And it doesn't take long to get them associated with the clicker, and it doesn't take them long at all to understand that when you click, they did something right and a treat will follow. And you've then got more time to get the treat because you've marked the spot and they have associated this strongly with a treat. So they know, oh, okay, I did something right at that exact moment. Now I just need to wait for my treat, and then you've got a minute to find a treat. Hopefully that makes sense. But the other thing is, it is thought that when you use a clicker, it's because it's much more precise, it will stick in their head more quickly. They'll learn it quicker. Whatever behaviour it is that you want them to learn, they will learn it quicker. But also that it will stay in their brain longer, that it will be retained better because it's more, I mean, there's a lot to do with neural pathways, etc., but it is more efficient when training. If you want to know more, I read this book on it recently, and I think I might have done a video telling you about this book because I think it's blooming amazing. I have been using clickers since we got Watson because they used them in puppy class, so we bought one and it's just been fantastic. This book by the well-known Karen Pryor is called Reaching the Animal Mind, and this is about clicker training. You can see it's got a little clicker on the front. It says clicker training and what it teaches us about all animals. You read through this and it's not just talking about dogs, it's talking, she trains a crab with a click, she trains people doing gymnastics with a clicker, horses, It's really interesting about animals, but it also really in depth explains the clicker. That's why you would use a clicker. Now, how do you start to use a clicker? Firstly, I just want to show you this. This is the treat pouch that I use, and I will link this for you. It's still got treats in it, but what's brilliant about this is it has a belt that you can put around your waist. It has got one of these carabiners so that you could hang it off a pocket, and it's also got a clip on the back. And it has got a metal opening at the top that stays open, so you can have this taped to you anywhere. You could have it up here on your boobs. And it means that you have got hands-free immediate access to treats. Okay, the next bit is how do you charge up the clicker? They call it charging up the clicker, and it basically means showing the dog that this means food, this means treats. I would say when you first do it with something high value. So cut up some hot dogs tiny and use pieces of hot dogs. They really do need to be cut up tiny because you need to use a lot. I would say maybe do 20 pieces, and literally all you're going to do is ask your dog to sit and do this. Click, treat, click, treat, click, treat. You can throw the treat on the floor, you can feed them directly, probably mix it up a little bit. All you want their brain to do is go, oh, okay, click means treat. Once you've made that connection is made, especially with food motivated dogs. If your dog is not food motivated by any way at all, you could use a toy. It could be click and play with a toy, click and play with a toy. If you're not using a clicker, then you wouldn't need to charge up the word, but that's maybe something else to remember, is that using the word, yes, that's it, well done. You tend to not be clear and concise. You tend to use different words. Yeah, you did it. Congratulations, well done, that's brilliant, great. You use a lot of different words, whereas the click is just one sound. There's no different tones, it's just the one tone, the one sound, and it signifies the same thing every time. And also you'll use yes, great in a lot of different conversations, so the dog it may lose its strength, the word, whereas this is just definitely click, treat. So like I said, do that about 20 times, and that is basically the clicker charged up, and you can then start to use it. You literally just get a bowl by them and you just click and treat. It's really that simple. Good boy. And you're just really getting into his head that clicker means treat. And you can even click and then wait a minute. You got a little shock there, didn't you? Oops, there it is, here it is. There's a good boy. You can click and say good boy, good boy. But at the minute that wouldn't really mean much because he isn't actually doing anything. So all I'm doing is just loading up this clicker. I would say do about 20 of these and then begin training, and then you can start to ask him for behaviours and click it at the exact moment he does it. So let's see, let me put it on the other hand and hold on to this. Watson, chin. Good boy. Ready? Chin. Good boy. One more time. Chin. Let me check your eyes. Let me check your eyes and your ears. Good boy. Clever boy. You ready? Speak. Speak. That'll do. Good boy. And that is literally it. You can then use this clicker for any training you want, and it can be really complicated, really simple. You know, from tricks. I use this to teach him putting things in a box, and I also used it for simple things like head down. Watson, Watson, head down. Head down. Good boy. Just really, really simple things. It can help mark the exact spot. You will find, if you want to test out if it has got into their brain, if you move away from them and just click, they will probably run towards you because they will be expecting that treat. And make sure you do give them the treat. Never click and don't give them a treat. Even if you accidentally click at any time during training, I would say give them a treat, because this has to be associated with click means treat. So you've charged up your clicker. The next thing is just to get on with training whatever you want to train. And I am going to be showing you in another video how to teach a dog to look left and look right. And I'm going to use the clicker because Watson is still, although I've shown it on video that he can do it, he's not at 100% yet. He's not, I would say he gets it about 3 times out of 5, or You know, he's not a 100% success rate that if I say look left, he will look left. Sometimes he gets confused with the left and right. So I'm going to use a clicker to show you how to do that. But basically any behavior you now want, whether you're using shaping to train them, whether you're luring them, the minute that they do what you want, you can click. And you don't even have to be showing them something to learn. What I mean by that is, if you have a dog that barks at the window, when they are barking, after you've charged it up, go to the window with your treat pouch and your clicker and stand and say and do nothing and don't look at them whilst they are barking. The minute they are quiet, good boy, and give them a treat. You don't have to say good boy. I just do that. That's just a habit for me. But, you know, to me, that's kind of reinforcing it, but it's up to yourself. The click and the treat is enough. But wait until the minute they are quiet, good boy. And then if they start barking again, look away, ignore them, don't say or do anything. And their interest will have been piqued. And then the minute they're quiet again, good boy. And in fact, if they are quiet a second time, give them more treats. And that will start to reinforce, okay, I get treats when I'm quiet. This is what I'm learning to do. And so on and so forth. And so this can just be applied to so many things. It's kind of crazy. I kind of wish I could use it on myself. And I've not 100% finished this book. I've got a tiny bit left, and I think she might even show you how you can use it on yourself. I wouldn't be surprised, because I was thinking, how on earth can you use this on people? But she teaches how you can use it on people, and it does work really well. That's everything about clicker training. I hope that you found that interesting. I will link the clicker and the pouch and the book for you in the description. Let me know if you use a clicker, and if you have changed to using a clicker, what you found to be the differences, and if you don't use a clicker, why not? I'm interested to know. This subject is so interesting to me, especially since reading that book. Let me know if you've read that book too. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.